All right, my people, welcome back on to this one. Well, this is another strong one reaching us. On to these old details about the just concluded President Tinubu's nationwide broadcast. All right, my people, the news in details. Well, on to this, what President Tinubu told Nigerians in nationwide broadcast. Well, on to this one. The President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Monday addressed Nigerians in a nationwide broadcast. Test of the national broadcast by President Bola Tinubu to Nigerians on current economic challenges. I want to talk to you about our economy. It is important that you understand the reasons for the policy measures I have taken to combat the serious economic challenges this nation has long faced. All right, that had been said by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Well, he continues, and I quote, "I am not going to talk in difficult terms by dwelling on economic jargon and then concepts. I will speak in plain, clear language so that you know where I stand. More importantly, so that you see and then hopefully we share my vision regarding the journey to a better, more productive economy for our beloved country. 3. For several years, I have consistently maintained the position that the fuel subsidy had to go. This once beneficial measure had outlived its usefulness. The subsidy cost us trillions of naira yearly. Such a vast sum of money would have been better spent on public transportation, healthcare, schools, housing, and then even national security instead. It was being funneled into the deep pockets and lavish bank accounts of a select group of individuals. For this group had amassed so much wealth and power that they became a serious threat to the fairness of our economy and the integrity of our democratic governance. To be blunt, Nigeria could never become the society it was intended to be as long as such small, powerful yet unelected groups hold enormous influence over our political economy and the institutions that govern it. 5. The whims of the few should never hold dominant sway over the hopes and aspirations of the many. If we are to be a democracy, the people and not the power of money must be sovereign. 6. The preceding administration saw this looming danger as well. Indeed, it made no provision in the 2023 appropriations for subsidy after June this year. Removal of this once helpful device that had transformed into a millstone around the country's neck had become inevitable. 7. Also, the multiple exchange rate system that had been established became nothing but a highway of currency speculation. It diverted money that should have been used to create jobs, build factories, and then businesses for millions of people. Our national wealth was doled on favorable terms to a handful of people who have been made filthy rich simply by moving money from one hand to another. This too was extremely unfair. 8. It also compounded the threat that the illicit and the mass accumulation of money posed to the future of our democratic system and its economy. 9. I had promised to reform the economy for the long-term good by fighting the major imbalances that had plagued our economy. Ending the subsidy and the preferential exchange rate system were key to this fight. This fight is to define the fate and future of our nation. Much is in the balance. 10. Does the defect in our economy immensely profited a tiny elite, the elite of the elite you might call them? As we move to fight the flaws in the economy, the people who grow rich from them predictably will fight back through every means necessary. Our economy is going through a tough patch, and then you are being hurt by heat. The cost of fuel has gone up. Food and then other prices have followed it. Household and then business struggle. Things seems anxious and then uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there is not. If there were, I would have taken that route as I came here to help, not hurt the people and the nation that I love. 12. What I can offer in the immediate is to reduce the burden our current economic situation has imposed on all of us, most especially on businesses, the working class, and the most vulnerable among us. 13. Already, the federal government is working closely with state and the local governments to implement interventions that will cushion the pains of our people across socio-economic brackets. 14. Earlier this month, I signed 4 executive orders in keeping with my electoral promise to address unfriendly fiscal policies and then multiple taxes that are stifling the business environment. These executive orders on suspension and then deferred commencement of some taxes will provide the necessary buffers and headroom to businesses in the manufacturing sector to continue to strive and expand. 15. To strengthen the manufacturing sector, increase its capacity to expand and create good paying jobs, we are going to spend 75 billion naira between July 2023 and then March 2024. Our objectives is to fund 75 enterprises with great potentials to kickstart a sustainable economic growth, accelerate structural transformation, and then improve productivity. Each of the 75 manufacturing enterprises will be able to access 1 billion naira credit at 9% per annum with maximum of 60-month repayment for long-term loans and then 12 months for working capital. 16. Our administration recognizes the importance of micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises and the informal sector as drivers of growth. We are going to energize this very important sector with 125 billion naira. 17. Out of the sum, we will spend 50 billion naira on conditional grants to 1 million nano businesses between now and then March 2024. Our target is to give 50,000 naira each to 1,300 nano business owners in each of the 774 local governments across the country. 18. Ultimately, this program will further drive financial inclusion by onboarding beneficiaries into the formal banking system. In like manner, we will fund 100,000 MSMEs and start up with 75 billion naira. Under this scheme, each enterprise promoter will be able to get between 500,000 naira to 1 million naira at 9% interest per annum, and then a repayment period of 36 months. 19. To further ensure that prices of food items remain affordable, we have had our multiple stakeholders engagement with various farmers associations and then operators within the agricultural value chain. Number 20, in the short and immediate terms, we will ensure staple foods are available and then affordable. To this end, I have ordered the release of 200,000 metric tons of grains from strategic reserves to households across the 36 states and FCT to moderate prices. We are also providing 225,000 metric tons of fertilizer, seedlings, and then other inputs to farmers who are committed to our food security agenda. 21. Our plan to support cultivation of 500,000 hectares of farmland and an all year round farming practice remains on course. To be specific, 200 billion naira out of the 500 billion naira approved by the National Assembly will be disbursed as follows. Our administration will invest 50 billion naira each to cultivate 150,000 hectares of rice and maize. 50 billion naira each will also be earmarked to cultivate 100,000 hectares of wheat and cassava. 22. This expensive agricultural program will be implemented targeting smallholder farmers and leveraging large-scale private sector players in the agric business with strong performance record. 23. In this regard, the expertise of development finance institutions, commercial banks, and the microfinance banks will be tapped into to develop a viable and an appropriate transaction structure for all stakeholders. 24. Fellow Nigerians, I made a solemn pledge to work for you. How to improve your welfare and the living condition is of paramount importance to me, and it is the only thing that keep me up day and night. 25. It is in the light of this that I approved the infrastructure support fund for the state. This new infrastructure fund will enable states to intervene and invest in critical areas and then bring relief to many of the pain points, as well as revamp our decaying healthcare and then educational infrastructure. 26. The fund will also bring improvements to rural access roads to ease evacuation of farm produce to markets. With the fund, our state will become more competitive and then on a stronger financial footing to deliver economic prosperity to Nigerians. 27. Part of our program is to roll out buses across the state and the local government for mass transit at a much more affordable rate. We have made provisions to invest 100 billion naira between now and then March 2024 to acquire 3,000 units of 20-seater CNG fueled buses. 28. These buses will be shared to major transportation companies in the state using the intensity of travel per capita Participating transport companies will be able to access credit under this facility at 9% per annum with 60-month repayment period. 29. In the same vein, we are also working in collaboration with the labor unions to introduce a new national minimum wage for workers. I want to tell our workers this: your salary review is coming. 30. Once we agree on the new minimum wage and then general upward review, we will make budget provision for it for immediate implementation. 31. I want to use this opportunity to salute many private employers in the organized private sector who have already implemented general salary review for employees. 32. Fellow Nigerians, this period may be hard on us, and then there is no doubt about it that it is tough on us, but I urge you all to look beyond the present temporary pains and aim at the larger picture. All of our good and then helpful plans are in the works. More importantly, I know that they will work. 33. Sadly, there was an unavoidable lag between subsidy removal and these plans coming fully online. However, we are swiftly closing the time gaps. I plead with you to please have faith in our ability to deliver and in our concern for your well-being. 34. We will get out of this turbulence, and then due to the measures we have taken, Nigeria will be better equipped and then able to take advantage of the future that awaits her. 35. In a little over 2 months, we have saved over ₦1 trillion that would have been squandered on the unproductive fuel subsidy, which only benefited smugglers and then fraudsters. That money will now be used more directly and then more beneficially for you and your families. 36. For example, we shall fulfill our promise to make education more affordable to all and then provide loans to higher education students who may need them. No Nigerian student will have to abandon his or her education because of lack of money. 37. Our commitment is to promote the greatest good for the greatest number of our people. On this principle, we shall never falter. 39. We are also monitoring the effort of the exchange rate and inflation on gasoline prices. If and then when necessary, we will intervene. 39. I assure you, my fellow countrymen and the women, that we are exciting the darkness to enter a new and glorious dawn. 40. Now I must get back to work in order to make this vision come true. 41. Thank you all for listening, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. All right, my brother, my sister, those were the words of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Well, this had been the full test what President Tinubu told Nigerians in the last nationwide broadcast. All right, my brother, my sister, well, a lot of people have actually reacted. My Nigerians will be like, okay, hope everything will be normalized immediately. Let something be done. At least let the palliative resume. Let us know where we belong. Well, according to Zubairu Bello, so well, the economy is going through tough part, but the executive and the legislative expenses continue to increase lavishly, while the common man cannot feed one. Please give us fuel subsidy. Let the few continue to benefit as well as common man. All right, very correct. Well, someone says, well, your sense of reason is upside down and then senseless donkey. Well, I don't know. Well, according to Truth Ambassador, they say, well, I said it, this man is clueless and then has nothing to offer. What is the guarantee that while we suffer, you people are not looting as has been the practice with politicians? What is it about our refineries that you refuse to focus and then tackle? Meanwhile, that is the cross. We are tired of this. We are tired. Okay, we are tired of this deceit and then lies. Okay, well, that's serious. Well, no comment on our refineries. Where is this country heading to? Well, my brother, my sister, majority of people have actually reacted though onto this one. Many people have actually had their minds that what exactly is going on. How sure are we that this will come up as soon as possible, or it will even come up at all? Well, my brother, my sister, this is exactly what we have seen onto this. What more can we say? Meanwhile, let me have your own take on this on the comment section, and remember to subscribe for more updates if you are just joining us for the first time on this channel. All right, thanks and God bless.